Have you ever looked at someone's online success story and thought to yourself, good for you, but that would never be me? Well, today I want to share something very important. Those people were not experts. Those people were not influencers. Those people weren't even tech savvy. They weren't tech geniuses. The only difference between those people and you is that they took a chance. They decided to start. So if you've been wondering whether it's too late for you to start, I want you to stay with me because this might completely change how you see your future. So in today's video, I'm going to be covering 5 things. Why so many people feel stuck, what the biggest mistake is that's keeping so many people from moving forward, and what ordinary people in my community are doing differently. Why waiting for confidence is keeping you and costing you so much more than you realize. Exactly how you can take that very first step today. So make sure you stick around because the last lesson is something that most people never hear. So hello and welcome back, and if you're new here, my name's Laiken, and on this channel I talk about creating more options, more freedom, more confidence through learning simple digital skills to build and grow your own online business. And today I want to hand the microphone over to the people in our community because sometimes hearing the story from me just isn't enough. Sometimes you just need to see what's possible for ordinary people just like you. People who had doubts, people who were scared, people who wondered whether this was actually for them, if they could actually make this work. But most importantly, people who started anyway. Let's talk honestly for a second. Most people don't lack opportunity, they lack belief. Maybe you're sitting on the sidelines, you're watching videos, you're reading posts, you're following people online, you're thinking, I'll start this one day. I'll start this when I feel ready. I'll start this when I know more. I'll start when everything calms down in my life. But what if that time never comes? Why do I say that? Because what if confidence doesn't just get handed to you? It doesn't just automatically appear when you start. What if confidence is something that you build because you start? Think about learning how to drive. You don't just wake up one day and suddenly know how to do everything. You don't just suddenly feel confident enough to overtake a car. You become confident through practicing. And the same thing applies to learning digital skills. The same thing applies to building something for yourself. The same thing applies to creating more freedom, more options, and more security for your life. So in a moment, I'm going to share the one thing that every successful person in our community has in common. And it's not what you think. But before I get there, I want to show you Paula's story. So look at this. Let me just show you here. $1,400 for a total of $8,491 this month. Somebody pinch me. Do you see that? Somebody pinch me. I have never in my entire life, and I mean my entire life, made this much in a month. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This has changed my life. That is Paula making $1,400 today to create a total of $8,491 for this month. I talk to women every single day who tell me the same thing. They worry about layoffs. They worry about their future. They worry about rising costs. They worry about AI changing everything, changing their jobs, taking over their jobs. And underneath all of those worries is one common feeling. I don't have a backup plan. That's a scary place to be when one paycheck controls everything, when one employer controls everything, when one source of income controls everything. The goal isn't necessarily to quit your job. The goal is to create more options. Because options creates confidence, options creates peace of mind, and options creates freedom. And that is exactly what most people are looking for. Not luxury cars, not millions, not a mansion, just more control over their life and their future. Now let's talk about these people that are inside of our community who are making so much money, just like Paula. Were they special? No. Did they know everything when they started? No. Were they born with some secret talent? Absolutely not. They simply made one decision. They decided to stop watching, stop following, stop reading posts, and they just started. That's it. They followed the training, they asked questions, they made mistakes, they learned new skills, and they showed up consistently every single day. And over time, they built confidence, because confidence comes from taking action, not from thinking, not from researching, not from worrying, from action. Just from action, from starting, from making that decision to start. Now, the next part might be exactly what you need to hear, especially if you've been waiting for the perfect time. But before I get there, let's have a look at James. James made $1,400 on his day one. Can you believe that? I love this program. I just followed the 2-hour workflow on YouTube. After doing live, an amazing action taker got started with me. My friend, there is no perfect time. The people who started 6 months ago were busy. The people who started a year ago, well, they were scared. People who started last week had doubts. They started anyway. Imagine where you could be in 6 months from now if you started learning today. Imagine the skills you would develop. Imagine the confidence you would build. Imagine how differently you would feel knowing that you're creating an additional income source for yourself and your family's future. That is powerful, not because of money, but because of possibility. Now, if you've come across my videos before, you know that I like to compare my online business with baking a cake. You need to follow a recipe. You need to follow the steps. If you've never baked a cake before, you can't just walk into the kitchen and expect to bake something magnificent if you follow your own steps, if you do not follow what is written down and proven to work. So what that just means is that you don't need to know everything. You don't need years of experience. You don't need fancy equipment. In fact, all I've got is this little light over here and my cell phone and a cell phone stand. You do not need fancy equipment. You do not need expensive equipment. You need the recipe and you need to follow it consistently every single day. If you can do that, if you can follow one step at a time, one lesson at a time, one day at a time, you can make this work too. Now let's go back to the people we're talking about today, the people who are inside of our community who are winning, like Paula, like James. They're creating progress, they're building confidence, they're learning new skills, and they're creating options. What is the difference between these people and the people who are sitting on the fence? It's not intelligence, it's not age, it's not education, it's not experience. It's one decision. That's it. They started. And once they started, they created a chance for themselves, a chance to learn, a chance to grow, a chance to discover what they are capable of. And nobody can do that for you. Only you can make that choice. You don't need to be special. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to know everything. You literally just need to start. Because confidence comes from action, and skills come from learning, and freedom comes from consistently showing up every single day, no matter what, for yourself. Not for me, not for them, for yourself, for your future. The people who you're seeing succeed online aren't unicorns. They're ordinary, everyday people just like you, just like me, who decided to take a chance on themselves, who decided to trust themselves to create and build a better life for themselves. And maybe it's your turn to do the same. And if this video encouraged you even just a little bit, please go ahead and smash that like button and subscribe, because every single week I share training and tips that show and teach beginners just like you to create more options and more confidence online. And let me know down in the comments, what is that one thing that's holding you back from creating and building your own online business, from learning new skills? And comment the word start below if you are ready to stop waiting, if you are ready to start building a better future for yourself. And as always, I have a free guide linked in the description below. It's a step-by-step, simple, beginner-friendly breakdown that shows you exactly how you can start your own online business today. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you, and I'll see you in the next one.